because we have seen people changing our view. People are now becoming cleverer than they were before. People now, they will just take whatever you give them, but they know the person they will vote for. They know the people they want to vote for. They know whether they're going to vote for. They cannot be bribed like before. Someone will just come and give women some, I don't know, 1 kg of sugar. Like in Nyakach, I think it was in Nyakach. One of the wards in Nyakach, the people of that ward were complaining about their MCA, that during the election, the last election, that is 2027 general election, these people were given some food and 50 bob. They were being given, I don't know how to call it, you know, the food, yes, and 50 bob. That is what this person did for them. That's what he gave them. And then they voted this person in. And now they are crying because he's doing nothing. He's lost. He's in Nairobi. He was not being seen on the ground and all this. Those people were crying. So I think now people like that, they have learned their lesson. They know that next time if this person comes even with 10,000 each or whatever each, we cannot vote in this person because this person will still disappear. So we have seen so many politicians on the ground. They are trying to now connect with the people on the ground. The politicians are now trying to do something. They are now, some of them are now even claiming some national government projects as theirs. We have seen them. So the panic is already there for the politicians, and the people are becoming very sober. They are not going to vote being blackmailed by emotions and all that. And you can also remember you have mentioned the Olkalau by-election. Let's start by there. That is the last by-election that happened in Kenya, and there was a lot of things about the Olkalau by-election. So many people feel like that by-election is as defined in the 2027 by-election. I don't know what's your view on that. What's your opinion? Do you think that Olkalau by-election define what is going to happen in the 2027 election?
Thank you, Brenda. When you view the by-election of Olkalau, at some point it defines what will happen in 2027 general election. Because you can see there's a lot of pressure, and you know, those people from Mount Kenya, now they have most of them have shifted from the UDA to DCP of Gachagua. It means that if the election will be held 2027, many votes will come from the Mount Kenya, and the UDA will miss some votes from Mount Kenya region.
I'm sure, but I think UDA will still have some leaders from Mount Kenya, like Kimani Ichung'wah, the leader of majority in the parliament.
Yes, even the DP, Kithure Kindiki, is also from Mount Kenya region. But at now, you can see the pressure there. This man called the former Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, and now he is influencing the mountain region. You can actually say that he has a great influence compared to some of those people like Kimani Ichung'wah and DP. He has some that influential concern that, yes.
Actually, it's getting popular. Rigathi Gachagua is now getting popular. We'll come back and talk about Rigathi Gachagua. Now, today, the president, that is Dr. William Ruto, is going to give a special national address at 7 p.m. The president is going to address the nation at 7 p.m. What do you expect, you as Byron and also as a Kenyan citizen? What do you expect that the president is going to say, and what do you expect him to say?
I think
to talk about.
Yeah, the major thing that Dr. William Ruto will talk about, I think, is about the concerning of the growth of the country, Kenya, and he will proceed with the message for this affordable housing, how it creates jobs and other things. He will concern many things, but major one will concern the growth of our country, Kenya. Yes.
As long as the president is going to address the nation, I expect the president to address certain problems in Kenya.
Yes.
I don't expect the president to just go there and start telling us, I've done this like he has done before. I mean, it doesn't make anything special. You know, when you just go there and say, oh, I did this, you know, the affordable housing is now this and this and this, and then people are still crying. It needs to maybe address the problems of the people of Kenya. Uchumi ya Kenya very, very high. People are really suffering. That is the truth. The hustlers. You know, when he was being voted in as the president, when he was campaigning during the 2022 general election, the president came up with this Hustler Nation narrative. And now this Hustler Nation narrative is what made so many people vote for him. So many people felt connected with it because of this Hustler narrative nation. And you know that here in Kenya, so many people are hustlers. So many people are hustlers. And therefore, that's why so many people maybe...
Be in gi lek mar bedo jafuambo, jalendo e wang' jowi, kata jalony e weche mag mbui. Riwri kod kar tiegruok mar Cityscope mondo iyud lony e chano chenro mag wang' jowi, fuambo kod puodho weche manyien moyiedhi. Yud puonj kowuok kuom jolony magwa mondo ibed gi ng'eyo mang'eny e weche mag fuambo.
Kenya are crying. The people of Kenya have been crying for a very long time. The people of Kenya have been complaining. The economy, the economic growth of Kenya is still very low and all that. And you know, each and every time, instead of addressing the problems or the needs of the Kenyans, the politics takes the center stage. Everything is about the politics. Oh, you know, wale watu hawawezi, I don't know what, hawana agenda. We don't need to listen to that. We don't need to tell us what other people cannot do. Tell us what you can do, because you are already in power. You have the power to do. Now do whatever you can do so that the Kenyans can see that, yes, we voted him in. For the past 5 years, he has changed this and this and this. Our lives improved this and this and this. You know, the issue of Gunizo. Yes. We want the president to come out clean and address this issue, because this is something that is now bringing tension and is now bringing a lot of fear in people ahead of 2027 general election. The issue of Gunizo is something that we are not just going to sleep on, and then 2027 we act surprised, or because we have seen how things are developing, Byron. Yes. We have seen how things are developing. Nowadays, goons are not afraid. They come out in broad daylight. Just because they have been given some 500 handout, these people just come out in broad daylight, and then they just create chaos and fear in people and all this. Now we want our president to come out very clean and address this. Yes. We don't want, me personally, I don't want the president to come out and start counting what he has done. We can see what he has done. We know what he's doing and what he has done. Yes. We don't need him to remind us or tell us, like, I've done this and this. We need him to come out very clean and address the problems of the Kenyans. Yes. That is according to me. Mm-hmm. Like the issue of Gunizo. We also need the president to address this issue of abduction. Mm-hmm. Just yesterday, I was here with one of the experts, the activists, the human rights activists or defenders. Yes. That is Mr. Samson Owino Onditi. Mm-hmm. And we talked about this issue of one of the fears, one of the things that, the challenges that they are going through is the issue of being abducted, disappearances of people. There are families who are still looking for their people, and all this is happening under the watch of the president. And actually, according to the data shows that in this regime, a lot of people have been abducted, a lot of people are being intimidated because of whatever they speak about, because they speak their mind, because they condemn the government on what the government is doing. The government is there to be criticized. That is something which is very normal. The president is there to be criticized so that he can correct whatever the people are not happy about. So I'm expecting the president today to talk about the issue of abduction and disappearances of Kenya. So many Kenyans are being abducted, disappearing. So many people are being assaulted. Actually, there's even a pilot that just was found killed, or let me say murdered. So many people, there are a lot of insecurity in the country. I expect the president to address the insecurity matters in this country. The work of our police, why are our police abducting people and even killing people, like in the case of Albert Ojwang? Yes. You saw through the court how things happened. Even a police constable was even present there and all that. So we need the president to come out clean and address the issues, the problems of the Kenyans, and also the issue of the economy, which is also going down and all this, and the borrowing that the government keeps on borrowing money and nothing is changing. That is according to me. Yes. We also, as youth, we expect the government to also address the issue of youth empowerment and employment. This Nyota thing, I can just say it was not an empowerment to our youth. That is according to me. Maybe you can give me your view on the issue of Nyota. Did you get it first of all?
No.
Did you even apply?
No.
They disqualified you?
Actually. Because, you know, when we hear people talking about the Nyota Fund, Nyota Fund, I just heard from the TVs and magazines and whatever, because maybe in apply kwa watu wenye kujua, because the normal mwananchi at the mashinani actually, if ask any youth outside there that, hey, do you enjoy or do you get benefit from Nyota Fund, he or she will tell hata sijui kitu ni nini, because hajafikiwa na hiyo Nyota Fund. I think it is a high time so that our president can consider youth empowerment in a right direction, or in a right way, so that our youth can get at least somewhere or some place to get a job.
So maybe if you can just give your view, what do you think is the best way to empower youths?
According to me, Byron, is that if you want to empower youths in a good way, also those who have finished their campus education, the graduates out there,
yes,
you can have a way to create some industries so that they can get job there. You know, when you get, for example, we say 2 industries in Nyanza, and they will be active industries, for example, of sugarcane and tea.
Yes.
Many youths can get job there, and at least they can say that at least hapa tunapata kazi.
Yes.
Rather than saying that Nyota Fund, tunapeana Nyota Fund so that it can help and other people are not enjoying the Nyota Fund. You just a specific group of people are enjoying the Nyota Fund. Maybe ina pesa inatolewa lakini haifiki kwa normal mwananchi. So I think the correct way to empower these youth, just create job for them. I know they have the skills. They have a lot of skills. They can implement them in their industries. If you create an industry there, you can employ them. Yes.
Yes. The issue of Nyota Fund, actually, there was a lot of lies. You can just tell if you're, I can say this, like the day when now there's another round of Nyota Fund was being dispersed. I don't know what was happening. You saw this lady say that he was given, the money was 22,000 shillings. He used 22,000 shillings to buy 5 coffins, and now he has a business of selling coffins. How is that even possible? One of the most cheapest, that is the most ugliest coffin you can find in Kenya, runs at 10,000.
10,000.
A normal coffin is 30,000.
And it was given to
so meaning that money cannot even buy one normal coffin. And who's going to use that 10,000 coffin? Whatever.
Aye.
Nobody.
So
you see, that is a lie. Yes. How can you just come up with something and then you lie because you are given some little token and all this? So some things didn't add up. Again, the kind of the age group that they were using to give this Nyota Fund and whatever, those were people most of them are still in colleges, most of them have not even started their family, most of them are hustling, most of them are living in debt and all this. So you can't tell me you give someone like that 22,000 shillings, then you expect this person to start a business. What kind of a business can someone start with 22,000 shillings? There's no business that can change my life that I can start with such kind of a small amount of money. So I think they maybe, if the government could have thought of maybe using this 22,000 shillings to identify some youth, maybe buy them some equipment. For example, if I'm skilled in tailoring and then you buy me a tailor, I mean a tailor, the machine, that machine for tailoring. Maybe if I'm gifted, I'm a saloonist, I can make hair. Then you buy me the equipment needed for the saloonist to open a saloon. Then at least you have helped me. If you buy me a blow dryer, you buy me 1, 2, 3 to start with. Yes. If they should have done something like that, but then they come down, they identify these youths, then they give them these things maybe to use. So if I decide to sell it, then I continue suffering, it's my problem. But if I decided to use this thing, I can just maybe identify a place, I start up something. They should have maybe bought them some equipment, or maybe they should have used this money to maybe start a factory the way you have said. Yes. Start some kind of factories and companies for these youths, maybe even of making clothes or doing something and all this, because that money was so big. I think that money was so huge. You know, these people were supposed to get 50,000 each.
50,000 each.
Yeah. And then they slashed it, I don't know, to 22,000. Then I don't know, around one round. Those things were not even making sense how this money was used. But I feel like it was the worst advice. It was whoever gave that advice or whatever happened, you cannot give a youth a 26, 27, 28, 24-year-old person who is maybe fresh from college or still in college and hustling and suffering, and then you have to give this person and living in towns, maybe paying rent and all that,
2,000 to set up a business that can change their lives. So
Yeah,
so we as youth, he wants us to vote for him in 2027. We need him to maybe address the issues that are affecting youths, like the unemployment issue. Maybe the government need to find a way of creating job opportunities. So we expect the president to talk about, me personally, I expect that the president talk about the problems of the Kenyans, not his achievements. He should not talk about himself, like praising himself. I've done this, I've done that, I've done this, I've done that, and then wale watu hawawezi. We don't expect something like that today, as our president will be addressing the nation at 7 p.m. So let's wait and see what the president is going to talk about at 7 p.m. Today while addressing the nation. But Mr. President, we need you to talk about the Gunism. We need you to talk about the abduction. We need you to talk about the challenges that the youths are facing. And we also need the president maybe to talk about peace ahead of 2027 general election. Yeah, if he can maybe address such kind of issues, then maybe I can say that it's worth it. But maybe if he's just going to talk about, I don't know, I've done this, I've done that, I've done this, I've done that, I built the what, I'm still going to do this, nimetenga 5 million for this, I don't know, 5 billion for whatever. So we can, I'm really sorry, but that's not what Kenyans need to hear today. Yes. That's not what Kenyans are expected to get from our president. We need changes in this country so that the developments, we can see them and people's lives can change. What can you say about, maybe that aside, let's wait and see what the president is going to talk about. But they named it a special address
for the nation.
So I don't know what specific thing is going to address the nation for, that is making special and all that. We also have the issue of killing, actually. People are being killed anyhow. Like just yesterday morning, Dr. Victoria Ntunga Mutiso was murdered in broad daylight. It was just in the morning. You remember the lawyer, he was called Bambu, was also murdered just in the evening. You remember the former Kasipul MP, Charles Ongondowere, was just murdered. These are prominent people just being murdered anyhow. Where is this putting us as a country?
I think now we, as a country, we are in a fear because we cannot even have that freedom of speech. You know, when you say something wrong or to the government, you will just be murdered. So I think our current country, we are in a fear because we don't know what will happen next when I say this. So you are in a fear because nikisema hii naweza kujiwa na zumbano, the way they said. So the case of murder zimeongezeka in Kenya. And I think our able president could address this in deep details because he can even channel to his the cabinet of security, the Murkomen, to have some strategies to overcome these issues of insecurity in Kenya, because now the citizens are living in fear. Yes, we cannot work as usual in the past regimes. Today you are in fear when nikienda hapa naweza kuwa murdered.
Yes.
I think if he can address this issue, can be very better.
This issue of insecurity is now putting our government in the limelight of failing, like they are failing us. The cabinet secretary for internal security, that is Kipchumba Murkomen, has been singing this one song. We are still doing our investigations. We are doing our investigations. We are doing our investigations. Each and every time he's singing, they are doing their investigations. Do you think the government is doing enough to make sure that there is enough security in Kenya?
Actually, no, because as they say that there's an increase in the issues of security and murder, because as the Victoria was murdered yesterday, and you can hear that there's no any implementation that can take place to do an investigation about that case. So I think there's no implementation on that.
So maybe the Kipchumba Murkomen needs to pull up his socks and maybe do something because Kenya, we are heading in the wrong direction in terms of security matters. people have the authority to just take other people's lives. Nobody cares. They do it on the streets. When these people are arrested, it takes years before these people are prosecuted, and then some of them just go scot-free, and nothing happens to them. So these people, they just know that, okay, here in Kenya, if you know who knows who knows so and so, you can do anything and you can just go scot-free and all that. So this issue of insecurity is becoming too much. Another, when we are just still talking about the insecurity, yes, I connect it with the political situation. We know that during the political, when a general election is approaching, the insecurities and the tensions become higher. I can say that most of the politicians take advantage of this, or most of the goons and whatever, the criminals, they take advantage of the situation and the political tension and all this, maybe to do their criminal activities and all this. But again, I don't think this is something that the government should just sit around and just make promises on. We need action. Yes. We don't need the promises. Just promising us that we are going to do this, or we are doing the investigations. Even our politicians are being attacked and nobody's doing anything about it.